We have an Olympic champion right here in our studio, and he happens to be married to a member of our News Channel 5 team.
Yeah, Doug Sharp won a bronze medal in the 2002 Winter Olympic Games.
His four-man bobsled team won the first U.S. medal in the sport in 56 years.
Now Doug is a chiropractor living in Mount Juliet with his wife, News Channel 5's very own Carrie Sharp.
And there you see them with their two adorable sons, Watt and Decker. Doug, we're so glad to have you here on Talk of the Town.
Well, thanks for having me. This is great.
Yeah. All right, so we mentioned it was 2002. Does it feel like it's been 16 years since you competed?
Not really. I mean, I'm basically reminded of it almost every single day by somebody or something on the internet or friends calling or whatever. So, yeah, no.
Yeah. You didn't start as a bobsledder. You were a track star first.
Right. I ran track and field for Purdue University and then subsequently tried to go on and make the 1996 Olympics and the Summer Games in pole vault. And I was an 18-foot half-inch pole vaulter that got recruited out of track and field to the bobsled world.
Nice.
Wow. So talk about training, because we see these folks out here every couple of years for the Olympics, but what's the training that goes into this? And you were saying earlier, I guess it's almost kind of a non-stop deal for you, or especially for the bobsledders.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for bobsled, you have to go to the venue. So there's a lot of times, like my driver was from Florida, but he just had to go to the venue and basically live there year round to become a phenomenal driver like he was. And you go to the venue. I was gone basically 11 months a year. I'd come home for about 1 month a year, and around Christmas a little bit too. But then I'd be racing or practicing somewhere around the world, and you know, every country, you know, to Japan, to Canada, to Germany, everywhere. And yeah, I just continued that way.
Yeah, you brought home the medal, and this is an unusual medal. Show that to the camera right there, and tell us about this.
So the Utah medal, the 2002 Olympic medal, there it is, was the first one in history that wasn't perfectly round. They made it look like a Utah winter river stone.
Nice.
It's actually 2.1 pounds of solid silver covered in bronze. It was the first Olympics too that they actually put the sport on it, and they put bobsleigh, which is European, and Athena in her arms embracing the bobsled.
Wow.
Yeah, it was unique for the time, and subsequently every Games tries to do their own twist on the medal.
Yeah. You got the shoe right there. One of the questions people always want to know from you is, how in the world do you race on ice?
So yeah, how do you sprint on ice?
Yeah.
And essentially it's a track and field upper, and but instead of the typical track and field plate, they put on the bobsled brushes, and they're needle sharp. And one day we were really bored and we counted all of them. There was like 438 of them, and they're razor sharp. So I have the scars on the back of my legs to prove it, because the guy loading in behind you would oftentimes miss his spot and just rip your leg open, and so you get used to it.
So how fast are you going when y'all really get going down that deal? How much speed do you have?
So every track in the world is different. Whistler, Vancouver is the fastest. In the four-man bobsled, they're doing about 96 to 97 miles an hour. And then the slowest track in the world is Eagles, Austria, and they're about 76. But my Olympics was Salt Lake City, and we're doing 80, I believe 87 to 88 miles an hour.
What is that experience like?
Well, it's amazing. It beats you up. I used to describe it as like standing inside some human-sized milk jug and just people hitting it with baseball bats, because it really is. You end up, wrecks will give you micro tears in your brain. There's some CTE issues with concussion issues, but it's really a G sport, you know, pulling G's like an airplane. But turn 4 alone in Utah, you're pulling, turn 4 out of 15 turns, you're pulling 5.2 G's instantly.
Wow.
So it beats you up really bad. But you get used to it.
Why don't we have Carrie come in? The boys are here too. So cute. I love the story of how the two of you met, because the Olympics actually kind of brought you together.
They did. I was working at a station in Louisville, and before Doug went off and joined the Olympic team, he was working in Louisville and his parents were living in Louisville, so we claimed him as our own. And several reporters from our station got to go out to Salt Lake to cover him. I was low man on the totem pole, so I got to cover his parents leaving and coming home. So I met his parents ever before I met Doug. And then he would come on our morning show several times with charities, helping to promote their events, and that's how we got to know each other.
So Mom and Dad actually said, you need to meet this girl, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
My mom, who's sitting over there, she had said that several times in high school, and I never, you know, no credit there. She said it about Carrie, and I said, oh, okay. So I met her at a charity event, and she was mean to me.
I was not mean. I just didn't talk. I was intimidated. You have this, you know, chiropractor, Olympic medalist, and, you know, good-looking fella, and I just didn't say much.
So I went back to my mom and like, thanks.
Yeah.
She was really nice.
Well, it all worked out.
It did,
And we're so
definitely.
glad. And you have 2 gorgeous boys to show for it, too. Guys, thanks for being with us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank
you.
you. And we'll see Carrie tonight.
I'll be here tonight, 4, 5, and 10.
All right. So much fun. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.